Hello, Mech fans. This is Duncan Fisher. Hold on firmly to your mana potions, fireballs, and familiars, because you are tuning in to your regularly scheduled episode of the First Circuit Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the First Circuit Podcast, episode 104,000. Today, this is Lars, your casual mech warrior, speaking with Ian.
Hello.
Biter.
Lark.
And an old Bob 10025.
Hello.
All right, and for today's topics, we have the Mechwarrior Online weekend event, a Mechwarrior Online hotfix that happened this past week, and we also have a BattleTech update that I think is actually pretty big. You might want to stay tuned for that one. And lastly, what is the content in Mechwarrior 5 Marketing? Where is it? All right, guys. So, Mechwarrior Online, where are we currently with this game, and what is happening this weekend?
That's an open-ended question.
Yeah.
Well,
Actually, I have no
The
clue.
more narrow one is this weekend.
Where is the game right
Warcry.
now? I don't know. It's probably somewhere in the cloud.
Yeah.
could be in the cloud, could be on our computers, but I think the most telling thing right now is that there's the weekend event, the Warcry event, and Mech challenges. So it's your usual weekend stuff. You know, nothing really too new. But I guess if we really want to go over everything in that, who wants to take lead?
I already boycotted it because it has destroyed
Ian,
one
you're up.
UAV.
Dang it, I was about to say.
It's already boycotted.
Yeah.
Okay, so, are we getting the usual 10-minute rant from you?
No, I already
No,
I
no,
went
I
through my
think
rant there. I already boycotted, earned 12 UAV detections. That's not too bad, but destroy one UAV, I'm done. I'm not playing. Nope.
Yeah.
Mm.
Pretty much. It's just the usual fanfare of weekend events.
Yeah,
There's
the
one.
Warcry event is I quite like this one actually. Just to start with, you get that 3 days of premium time as long as you get 250 match score or greater, and they're giving a fair number of popular rewards away, like Rocket Girl and a fair number of Warhorns and even MC. So unlike previous weeks where you had to do something like competitive to get MC, this is just play the game, do fairly easy challenges, and you get some nice stuff.
Yeah, I think it's like 400 like MC if you do all the light, 10 kills or 10 KMDDs for each egg class. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And it seems like it's a pretty easy event. And they're actually also, there's one of them in here. It is a join in a 2 Solaris 7 matches, and you don't even need to win.
Yeah, just play 2
Yay.
Solaris matches and get
Mhm.
2,000 damage from faction player, the only 2 little exceptions. They do give C-bills and their own Warhorns, but yeah,
Well,
all the
that's-
others are very general.
That's
I
if
don't
you
much
could get into
prefer
faction
those.
play. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And at least
Yeah.
playing 2 matches in Solaris, you can always try and beat up one friend.
Yeah, but
And,
what Biter said first is really important here for the first time. I think they're doing the 3 days premium time as the entry-level challenge, which is something we've been saying for forever,
Mhm.
basically.
Long
Mhm.
time.
So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that one. That's really cool.
Maybe they're listening. Do you think?
Maybe. That'd be kind of
I
nice.
mean, they're not working on the game, so they've got time to listen to podcasts. Okay, that's kind of.
Oh, yeah. Well, it would at least give them time to maybe tweak their event system a little bit. Something that isn't so grindy, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
My only grudge with this particular event is the fact that the 10 KMDDs or kills are the same for lights and assaults. I would not mind changing light max to 10 assists or 5 KMDDs and 5 assists or something like that.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Yeah.
it's a good event, I think.
It's a fairly easy one. And then also there are the
Mech
special
challenges.
mech challenges. Yeah. So
You can get a bagpipe warhorn.
Oh, can you? Oh yeah, if you're in a
Yes.
catapult, eh?
And
Nice.
you have to play my favorite mech to get it.
Yeah, the
So,
catapult
like,
C2.
This C2, yeah.
It's a really cool mech. I like it a lot.
What are you
Yeah, so
running
they-
that?
I'm running AC40 on it, but it can also do the. I'm kind of using it as the old school K2 meta mech. So dual
Yeah.
Gauss, dual AC20, that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
it's a bit hard to find the tonnage to fit like 4 missile weapons and 2 good ballistic weapons that all sort of sync up and make sense. And the missiles are stuck in those giant ears that get shot off really easily.
Yes.
So yeah, it's usually best just to turn it into a K2.
Yeah.
One quick thing that I saw this week. I'm really happy Mechwarrior Online added the C2 variant because I've been reading through some of those post-jihad novels recently, and there were a lot of catapults with ballistics. And I got really confused because they had both LMs and then some autocannons, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But now I know. It's a catapult C2.
Cool.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, the mech challenges, though, as you mentioned, Catapult gives this the Backpack Warhorn, the King Crab gives the Parrot Warhorn, the Cyclops Warhorn from the Marauder, and the Warhammer gives a Power Hammer. Like, for the most part, they're trying to give popular Warhorns.
Yeah.
And if you pre-ordered Mechwarrior 5, you will get you can actually do 2 challenges at once, basically, because they have their own extra Warhorn, the Mechwarrior 5 pre-order Warhorn. It used to be like, for me, I got the standard, the cheapest pack, and I only got 1 of the pre-order Warhorns. But if I do this event, I will now have 5, which is about as much as one of the higher levels, I think.
The medium
if you
package.
the medium package, I think, yeah. I was just trying to remember because I think actually the last package is like 16 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I think we've got 9. Definitely more than I
Yeah.
would ever use.
Yeah, it's quite a lot there. So yeah, you get double the Warhorns if you pre-ordered Mechwarrior 5, and for me, I pre-ordered it and then refunded it, so I get all this stuff for free if I play the game. And lastly, at least this will perhaps tie into our next topic. The Devil Dervish is also in this list. You can get the Dervish pattern if you get 20 kills on it, and the Dervish has just become available for C-bills.
Yes, it has. Sadly, I didn't really use the Dervish when it came out.
I didn't either, actually. I think the Trebuchet was a lot better. But
Well, of course, it's a
Yeah.
trebuchet.
yeah, exactly.
Is the Dazzle pattern any good? I don't have a picture in my mind. How does it look?
I don't know.
I'm not a big fan of the dazzle pattern. I think it's how to describe it? It's like, instead of like lots of rectangles, they got slight slants at the end, and that's about it. And it's scattered all across the mech. It's really gaudy.
Yeah. And that's and that's a pattern that's open to any mech too. I mean, so just imagine that pattern on a dervish.
Okay, yeah.
Barkley.
Yeah, it's a lot of stripes.
Not stripes, but they're like
stripes.
Doritos. Tiny little Doritos.
It's not terrible. It's not the best.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's something. Particularly if you have no camo patterns whatsoever.
Yeah.
If you bought it just for
It's better than a
Mountain
green
camo?
clan mech or the mountain pattern.
Yeah. Much better than that.
But yeah, with the Dervish coming out, I think we sort of mentioned most of us didn't really bother playing the mech very much.
I did.
I played a couple games, but I wasn't too impressed with it, though.
I played it a lot because I like the mech on paper a lot, like coming from tabletop.
Yeah.
So I like what the mech stands for, but obviously since you can't really do bracket builds in Mechwarrior Online, I also just did the usual focus on streaks, focus on limb, something like that. And to be fair, it's a lot like the other 55-ton medium mechs. I haven't really felt a noticeable difference.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
it was
going to be there for C-bills, so
quirk-wise, it was it exists. It was given a slight survival stuff, but there's so many other top options for missile 55 tonners. If you don't use jump jets and you want to be really tanky, just take the Kintaro. It was given slightly better agility than the rest, but again, if you want agility, get the Wolverine, and if you want a lot of agility, get the Mask Wolverine.
Yeah. Good mech. I like that.
Yeah, and I feel like if I'm going to be taking the medium mech, I'm going to be taking either that or a Griffin. That's just me.
Yeah. The one major advantage that Dervish has over Wolverine, Griffin, and so on, it's symmetrical.
I guess.
I mean, so is the Griffin. I mean, it's the Griffin's symmetrical if you're just using missiles usually.
Yeah.
A lot of the Griffins actually only have missiles in their right torso.
Yeah.
It's just that 2N that people have using the one with ECM is got 2 in either side.
That is the Griffin. That is the only one you need.
B2N doesn't have jump jets though, right?
It does
No, I
have
think it
jump
has-
jets.
it
All
has
the
It does have
Griffins
jump jets,
jets.
yeah. Yeah, it's jump
Okay.
jets.
Yeah, and so it has ECM, and you can fit like 4 missile pods on it. So yeah.
I think
My first Griffin was the one with 4 missile hard points, but all in the right shoulder, which meant that shoulder got really cramped.
That's like the one I had. And then I shoved a whole bunch of Merm into it when Merms came out, and it was amazing.
Yeah, the Dervish, it exists, and now it's available for C builds. Huzzah! I forget. I think a fair number of them start with XL engines, so they're a little pricey. But you can at least pick whichever Dervish you want if you're really, after all this time, you're like, you know what? I need an inner sphere missile 55 tonner, and of all of these, I really want the Dervish for some reason.
I mean, it looks neat.
I think that
And
brings
they
us into the next thing
also-
on that.
Then
Also
the
yeah.
the MC Mechs are the pre-order Mechs. You can get those for MC. As usual, we recommend just waiting another month and getting them for C builds.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you were going to spend money, the cheapest thing would have been getting them for free with Mechwarrior 5, or getting them in the bundle like Lash did. Buying them for MC is really, really inefficient.
Yeah, because you could have gotten these for $13 this past weekend, and it was the weekend last, I think. And it was good. It was actually a very decent pack.
Yeah, buying them for money would be like $70, $80.
Wow.
Jesus.
Yeah, hold off on that.
Yeah,
Holy
don't do that.
That's way too much.
Why?
Money.
Why are MC prices so freaking high?
Yeah.
Well, they got to make their money somehow,
Yeah, but if no one is buying them because they're too expensive, they're also not making money. I don't know.
True.
I'm not certain PGI has hit the sweet spot with MC pricing yet.
No,
Well, like didn't they
it's
come
not-
out like when they first came out with the game? It was like 300.
It's only
Yeah,
been since
$500
2013.
Yeah.
They haven't changed. So I don't know. I think they might want to look into changing the prices for those.
Keeping
If
that
you have a lot of
sweet
disposable
course.
income, and there's some like I think Nano Reaper or whatnot who,
Mhm.
if they really just want it, they'll just buy it. But otherwise, that pricing is also with mind to like 50% discounts and whatnot, and people earning MC in game. That's at least a thing to consider.
All right. Well, anyway, that's I think that's kind of and the hotfix. What was the hotfix all about before I forget?
I forgot.
They fixed the typo.
They fixed a
Is that all
typo,
it
yeah.
was?
Nah, fix a bug where faction play leaderboards are not sorting correctly. Amazing. And the building health in faction play incursion mode has slightly increased. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. I mean, that's if you
Yeah,
get
I don't
faction
know
play.
why this was a hotfix, but cool.
Yeah. So
It
was
just
there.
I think they're listening to feedback from faction play players and displaying something like, hey, you get 72 GXP if you reach this really difficult rank. And they're like, who cares about 72 GXP? Oh, sorry, we mean GSP.
GSP.
Because skill points are, of course, a lot more valuable than a couple
Yeah.
experience points.
Yeah, so that was just the main typo, but so that's kind of like all we had from Mechwarrior Online, I believe.
That was short. Oh my
Topics.
god.
That's a very short topic list. But now, but if you're looking up here, is that coming up? Is it going to be in about 2 weeks from now, or when the podcast comes out next week? Is the BattleTech Heavy Metal patch, and this looks really
Yes.
interesting.
November 21st. It's a Thursday, so make sure you've got Friday off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you are in the States and you're doing Thanksgiving and if you've taken off that last week of the month, you got plenty of time to play, because I did.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Yeah,
so
I
you
had the
actually
whole
want to
week
use
off.
the time because remember, you've only got about 2 weeks until you have to put your time into Mechwarrior 5.
Yeah, which I did not pre-order Mechwarrior 5 ever. I kind of held off on that. But,
Oh god. Yeah, I was gonna ask you too. Like, Lars, are you gonna be making any videos on Mechwarrior 5?
I haven't pre-ordered anything about
Well, like
it.
once it comes out, though.
It all depends if I buy it.
You're not gonna buy it?
Oh, I mean, It all depends on where I am money-wise.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So,
true.
but it's one of those things where a lot of times, and it's not just MechWarrior 5, and this is maybe just kind of going off topic a bit, but I typically don't pre-order games a whole lot. The only game I really pre-ordered was BattleTech, because I've just seen so many things where people pre-order and then things are either canceled or things are not done properly. Which example was MechWarrior 5, and it was on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with me, I don't really care if it's on Steam or Epic. I don't care either way. But typically for any game consoles or new games like this that are done by small developers or big ones actually, I kind of wait about a week or two until it's released. And then I see, like, unless it's one that I'm really going to heavily dive into, like BattleTech was great from the get-go. That was like, I put all my money into that. MechWarrior 5, I'm holding off until about a week or two until I get it, and then if it looks great or looks good, sure, I'll get it, and then then I might do content.
Yeah.
If not, I'm going to be holding off. And also, I'm not going to dive a whole lot into this, but random announcement is that I might be going back to school, so I'm going to be seeing what I'm doing with my content creation in regards to that next year. So we're going to see.
Cool.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a logical thing. I got burnt on Fallout 76, and then
prime example.
Yeah, prime example. And then MechWarrior 5, like once it comes out, but it was just MechWarrior, so I figure like why not do some MechWarrior?
Let's be real though, Bob. Fallout 76 was obviously gonna be a fail from the first time.
Yeah, there was a lot going on with that.
There was no reason whatsoever to ever pre-order it.
So well,
it's kind of new.
They did something like what PGI is doing. They didn't give any information. There was not a lot of like information about Fallout 76 before it did come out, and so everyone did pre-order. Think it was being good.
There is merit to pre-ordering it because they did give early access to that beta, which you could actually play the game and see whether you like it or not, or see what the state the game is actually in. And if it turned out the game kind of sucks, which it kind of did, then you could refund it or try to get it refunded before the game actually comes out.
Well, since we're on this topic, let's put the BattleTech thing off to the side real quick, and let's just talk about MechWarrior since we're going full into MechWarrior 5 already. What do we think about the whole marketing that they've been trying to say that they were going to do? Because it's going to be coming out next month in December. We're already in November. When this podcast comes out, it will be November 11th. So about just a solid month out.
Just counted the days. From the time of the recording, it's 31 days until the release of Mechwarrior 5. Was promised us marketing 1 month in advance, and he is literally 1 month away. So personally, I would expect marketing to start at the very latest point on Monday at the time of the release of this podcast. Yeah. Otherwise, he's gonna break another promise.
Yeah.
Now, I think the one thing too is that he didn't really mention, and it's not really us to really know or not, but he didn't mention what kind of marketing. Was it going to be advertisements on YouTube? Was it going to be? I mean, like I don't know.
I think probably Twitter. He'll do marketing like on Twitter, basically, just like Borderlands 3 did. I think they did some great marketing campaigns through there. They might actually YouTube might be a little bit more expensive to go ahead and do, so I don't think he's going to do that.
I'm not really gonna give Russ the expertise to decide on a efficient marketing campaign, if I'm gonna be honest. Personally, I'm expecting. Well, he said it would be a lot bigger than Mechwarrior Online ever was.
Yeah.
And Mechwarrior Online had those side banners on certain web pages, like YouTube, for example.
Yeah,
had some Mechwarrior
that's
Online
a
back
good
then.
point. Yeah, because if you were to go to like GameSpot or something like that, you would have those side
I'm
banners.
kind of expecting to see some of those banners. I don't think they're gonna be like pre-video spots, simply because we haven't seen a lot of Mechwarrior 5 gameplay yet, and I don't think they would be able to produce a 30-second trailer that's really captivating enough.
That's fine. I mean, as long as we see something, be it like a banner or it could be even like a slideshow kind of like advertisement.
Please buy Mechwarrior 5 banners.
Please buy Mechwarrior 5. Our company depends on it.
We've had Bombadil on a couple months ago, and he said PGI was really big about influencer marketing.
Okay,
so that's where I'm expecting most of the money to go.
So if we're saying influencer marketing, I know I'm not a part of that. Who do we think is going to be the influencer marketing?
Bombadil.
Bombadil mostly.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing. We don't really know how they're gonna do it. Like, are they just going to the existing Mechwarrior BattleTech streamers and saying, "Hey, you get the game for free, couple days in advance. Go ahead and stream the ever-living f out of it, but stay away from the main campaign missions for now."
Oh yeah, I mean,
Oh, okay.
honestly,
Cool.
I mean, if they approached me and said, "Hey, you know, like we're gonna give you a game code and spend these 3 weekends and you play nothing but this game," oh yeah, like I played the living hell out of it,
Yeah.
you know, and I would market the living shit out of it and make content for it to help them out because, I mean, it's MechWarrior. I really love the franchise and I would love to see it grow. I mean, I would do
Yeah.
tons of content if they approached me, but.
The big disadvantage of this, though, is you're only really hitting smaller streamers because, as far as I'm aware, there are no big streamers who ever played Mechwarrior Online or BattleTech for a continued amount of time. So the other thing that the game might go, which is what a lot of people have been doing, like the Tropico series and so on, just find some random big streamer and pay him a flat amount of money to stream the game for 2 hours.
Yeah,
and
True.
That's something I definitely see more. Yeah,
That's what I'm kind of hoping they're not gonna do, because I think that's a really difficult thing to pull off. You need to do a lot of research whether the streamer's audience might even be interested in the game. Also, you need to be absolutely certain that those 2 hours the streamer's gonna play for you are balls through the walls and can actually get people to buy the game, because if it's just some boring intro, no one's gonna be convinced like that. For example, if someone played BattleTech on stream, some big streamer, the intro is, in my opinion, kind of slow, and it doesn't showcase too much of the actual core gameplay with the Argo and so on. So I don't think that would have been a good choice for the big influencer marketing. So there are a lot of options, and we're gonna have to see whether influencer marketing is something they go for and whether they can find a middle ground.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things where, you know, because we're not part of their developer team or their marketing team, I mean, it could just be like, yeah, kind of like how you said, find a really large streamer because, you know, Mechwarrior Online, the pool of streamers, they do great work out there, but their audience is not very large. So yeah, so I mean, if I were them, if they're gonna do marketing and if it was gonna be influencer marketing, I would say you choose like 1 to 3 big streamers, not just one, but choose like 1 to 3.
Yeah, multiple, definitely.
You know, choose multiple, and then say, hey, we're going to give you this part of the game, like not basically saying we're not going to have you begin from the very beginning of the game, but we'll give you like these mechs, and you can access these levels, and just have at it.
Yeah, just
you know?
give them a game save from the campaign.
Yeah.
Something where no, you're not gonna spoil anything from the story, but you're gonna showcase the game.
But aren't they
showcase the game, and then say like, hey, and then make sure you're going on Twitter and Facebook to these you know people and say, make sure you advertise it on your Twitter like weeks in advance that you're gonna be playing this game and that kind of thing. Just build up that
hype,
you know, announcement kind of thing.
Now, like
I could even give you a number if you wanted. I've seen some of the streamers recently open up about their sponsorship deals. And a streamer, well, actually, for about one viewer, it's $1 how much they get for a 1 hour showcase. So if you've got 20,000 viewer, for the most part, you're gonna be paid $20,000 for a.
Oh, all right,
that's
well,
not
that's
bad.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that's actually that's not bad at all.
Yeah,
that's not as terrible as I was expecting, honestly. Then again, if you go to someone like Ninja, like those really top end guys, they're probably gonna take a lot more money.
Yeah, in which Ninja has moved to Mixer, I believe, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of them have. A lot of them have.
And also, it's gonna be interesting to see whether they be able to find someone who's even remotely interested in the kind of genre. Because if you just pay someone who doesn't care, they're obviously gonna want a lot more than someone who would be like, "Oh, BattleTech, I've heard about that. I've seen that like 10 years ago. It was kind of cool. Sure, I'm gonna do it for a bit cheaper than everyone else."
Aren't they using a different marketing firm for this?
I believe so.
And PGI has nothing to do with this, though, right?
Yeah, I think what Russ said is that they're not using their own built-in PGI resources. They are outsourcing it, I think.
Yeah, which is the correct choice.
Yes,
it's a good way to do it.
It's just really gonna be interesting to see how much money they put in, and then the company who does the marketing for them how much they are incentivized to do it most efficiently. Or
Yes,
whether
yeah.
they're just like, I'm getting paid this, okay, this is cool, I'm gonna spend this money, I'm gonna get paid for low effort and be done with it.
Yeah.
Like
true.
PGI is a small developer, they're not gonna do a whole lot if I do a garbage job, just do it.
So
And
part of some of the context we know going into it is, they said they're going to hire a company. They will actually have a bigger budget because they signed up with Epic Game Store, and they are actually aiming for a certain number of set of copies sold. What was it like? He wanted how many?
million.
Like 1 million or something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
million.
something like that.
I think it
something
was
like 1 million. So you want to do the marketing appropriate for selling about 1 million copies, and you want to sell it to people who are prepared to buy things on Epic Game Store.
Yeah.
But also, if you say he wants to sell a minion, I don't think Ross has the expertise to really say, I'm gonna sell a minion, I'm gonna have to spend this much in marketing. I don't know if he's prepared to really pay that proportional price.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, what's the average sales for a AAA title when it comes out?
$60.
No, because as far as like how many copies are sold?
Oh, copies sold.
Yeah, like let's say like Borderlands 3. What's the average sales like of that?
It really depends on the title.
Yeah.
Some can be millions or millions, and others can have a huge budget but flop.
Yeah.
It all depends. Yeah.
Also, we have to think this release window, December. Is there something going on in December? Jingle bells, jingle bells. it's a little competitive.
I'm going to have to do one for the rest of the week. Thank you. Borderlands 3 is at 5 million copies right now.
5 million copies. They did a pretty good.
I'm just gonna check some big games to get some context.
And they actually did live action, like marketing as well. So that does cost a lot more money to go and do. Like instead of just taking video shots, like every game.
Oh, you mean for Borderlands? Like live action stuff?
Yeah. So at 5 million copies, and I don't know how much they spent on marketing though. Like how much did Borderlands 3 spend on marketing?
It's also a known brand that has a huge following.
Yeah, and I don't see Mechwarrior Online having that, like very large.
Borderlands.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Or even maybe not even that. It's going to be a small piece of the amount of people who know. I mean, I would put the argument that people would know what the like Mechwarrior games from Xbox were more than BattleTech and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, here's one thought process I have in regards to Mechwarrior 5's marketing, or just Mechwarrior in general, which is generally, of course, the way video games sort of work nowadays is, of course, the simplest way to show off your game to people is obviously with the visuals. That's what you see in marketing. You don't get the feel of a game unless there's a demo, and even then, getting people to download your demo, you'll need them to see the visuals, need to get people hooked. So visuals are everything, at least in video game marketing, which is why has been so much importance placed onto them. With Mechwarrior 5. We can look at the different videos they've done from the initial 2017 MechCon, 2018 MechCon, and et cetera. And what they've been doing is doing a lot more sort of a floating cam in space, just sort of floating around showing the mechs fight. But like with the last MechCon, the issue with that though is it's just someone says, okay, there's mechs fighting.
Yeah.
What do I do? And they've been steering away from showing the cockpit view, and the cockpit view itself isn't necessarily that visually interesting. Like when they have done video clips of it, they've we saw with IGN, like they sort of get somebody who's had too much coffee and is wiggling the mouse around a lot. And there's other things, of course, at least when we saw MechCon, when I was playing the demo and whatnot, I said, simple things that are core to the gameplay design, like overheating sounds, are not in the game. Other design principles like that are already present in Mechwarrior Online, by the way, like in Mechwarrior Online, when you press accelerate, your Mechwarrior inside the cockpit actually moves his left arm forward. Like his arms actually move with the controls that you are doing.
Yeah.
In the game at the time when we played the demos, your Mechwarrior was, he was completely static. He did not react or move or anything like that. They are not making much use of the immersion of being within the cockpit, and that's why they have somewhat been steering away with it. But I think in their marketing materials, like the most recent MechCon trailer, they showed nothing from the cockpit, which means when you show those kind of trailers, people have no idea how this game is actually going to be play out. In fact, the only time we actually see footage from what would actually look like the game in that trailer is like a second of the mech like you walking within this dropship.
The last trailer though was in December 7th, I believe.
Yeah.
Of last year.
Last year.
Yeah, last MechCon.
Yeah, the last MechCon. So literally though, they haven't had anything as far as marketing since then. For whatsoever.
Yeah. All I can say is that go ahead.
Who was it who Googled the Mechwarrior 5? Lars, was you, right?
That was me, yeah.
Yeah, so Lars, early today, just Googled Mechwarrior 5 and in the news section from Google, and the newest thing that showed up was from January.
Yeah, that was the top related Mechwarrior 5 link in Google News was from January. Everything else was just other things that weren't Mechwarrior related. Yeah, so it's like if that's what Google's finding, that's telling us there really isn't a lot of news or pertinent information out there that's really catching the eye.
He better do some marketing, man.
I just have to go back to like 2 episodes ago. Like, he didn't spread the butter equally.
Yeah.
Remember, we're keeping that giant stick of butter all for the last week of marketing. I'm just going to just dump it right into the bowl. And melt it.
I would say, personally, at least when I do my own personal Bing search for Mechwarrior 5.
Bing.
Yes. I don't want to use Google. And Google has gotten kind of slow lately. there is a PC Gamer. a PC Gamer article released 2 days ago, which is saying, oh, hey, here's some of the best mech games on PC. Number 1 on the list, BattleTech. Number 2, Into the Breach, Titanfall 2, Supreme Commander 2,
oh my
Mechwarrior Online.
Wait, 2? Not Forged Alliance?
Not Forged Alliance. It's PC Games N or whatever. But this is a news article.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I know. Strike Suit 0, Earth Defense Force 4, Brigador, and anyway, at the very bottom here we have Mechwarrior 5 Mercenaries. So there has been something recently.
Barely. That's the problem. Barely.
And it's just because they're listing mech games, and it's at the bottom of the article just saying, oh yeah, there's a game coming in.
Yikes.
So quickly looking, since we're on search engines, I just DuckDuckGo'd it, and I couldn't find anything in the news section.
Hold on, let me go to AOL like real quick. Hold on a second.
Right.
Well,
my search engine is
go to
working
Netscape Navigator.
Netscape Navigator.
let's Facebook it. No, I'm not opening Facebook on this PC.
So like we're recording on the 9th right now, and then this comes out on the 11th. So they're gonna on the 11th they should have marketing, correct? Okay, that's at least what he said. He better get out there and start like handing out flyers or something.
He better do
it doesn't
at least
matter.
one tweet on the Mechwarrior 5 Twitter account, otherwise.
Hey guys, it's coming.
I mean, the Mechwarrior 5 Twitter account is constantly reposting the exact same text message that Mechwarrior 5 is now finally available for pre-order.
Yeah, I know. But it's just interesting. He better do something.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. I'm sort of imagining a makeup shotgun approach, or at least that's usually the best way, that you try several different avenues and see which ones actually get you the best return on investment.
Yeah.
And we'll ramp up towards that final point where the game actually finally becomes fully released on Epic, and then it'll suddenly probably disappear. And at least as I was saying though earlier, my concern is that a lot of their trailers have been leaning towards sort of just dolly cam of flying around whilst random fights are happening with robots, and you don't get any idea what the gameplay is like. It doesn't really emphasize big stompy robots, the main gameplay, which will of course be first person shooting.
Yeah, I'm gonna be completely honest. I just, for shits and giggles, brought up the really old Mechwarrior 5 trailer we got at the time of the Mechwarrior Online closed beta.
Mhm.
And I just realized that thing is from 2009, which
It's
is
so old.
ridiculous.
But
also
it still looks
it's
good.
still kind of the best Mechwarrior 5 trailer we
Yeah.
have. It's still really freaking awesome.
Because it tells a nice little mini story, which I
Yeah.
really love. Like,
And the
like
visuals are great, and you get a
Yeah.
cockpit view. You get a feeling of power you have, but also the feeling of power you're facing.
mm-hmm.
It's really cool. Like, I just kind of wanted to redo this one.
You know what? It'd be really cool if they just like shot for shot redid this trailer.
Yeah, shot for shot,
Yeah.
redo it with your current assets in Unity Engine, and
Yeah.
big trailer.
Well, you know what, Bob? You and I might have a thing we gotta do come December.
I ran out of footage already, though. That's a problem.
We'll just go ahead and just take the audio from the trailer, and redo the visuals.
That's a really cool idea. I'm up for that.
You know what?
We
yeah,
do have
like
destructible buildings, and we do get modding tools for Unity Engine, so we might be able to just model this corner of the
that
city.
would be freaking cool. You know
Okay.
what? We should try and do that.
Okay, hit me up.
Yeah.
I also I on that trend, I do like my favorite among the trailers is like the MechCon 2016 one. I mean, obviously that's a very early mock-up where, for some reason, we do this whole huge long build-up, and eventually he fights a raven, a suicidal raven.
Oh,
Way
that
before
I
its
know.
time.
Yeah, that's the one when you're in the Shadowhawk or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it did really help to just emphasize, like, in that you don't have all this, sort of just somebody going crazy with a guitar, sort of drowning out everything. There was a huge emphasis on sound effects, on just, this very small scale fight playing out between the two mechs, and everything feels so, slow and cumbersome and bulky. Big, stolpy robots from the first person perspective throughout. And we've been moving away from that ever since.
Sorry, I'm just rewatching the Mechwarrior 5 trailer and just being like, oh, this was so good.
This is so freaking good. I just did a little UAV model. I'm still, oh.
Oh, so good. But anyway,
nostalgia.
I think we could probably wrap up the Mechwarrior 5 stuff because we still have one last topic to go into, which was going back to BattleTech with the heavy metal update, which is coming out very soon.
So basically, just a quick reminder to everyone, since our next podcast is going to be the weekend after the release of the heavy metal. So next episode, tune in to get our ideas about the expansion and what to think about it. So just quick reminder, next week at the time you're watching this, it's gonna be out. So
yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
guys, what are you most excited about from the expansion or the free update?
The long grind until eventually the heavy mechs show up and actually.
Wow.
Yeah, true.
I just think all the new variants that are coming out is gonna be really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The only issue I have is the modding. Basically, I wish it was automatically done, or they worked with the modders a lot more, because like I'm having issues getting the 3025 extended done like once again. What?
That's what they're doing.
I know that's what they're doing, but like I want it now. I want it now because I'm gonna start playing my game. Because like when I load it up, it doesn't do anything. It won't load up my game. So that's the issue that I've been having. But that's an issue they're working on. So I have no problem with that.
And then what is the price for this one?
$20.
The usual.
Yeah.
$20?
Yeah. $20. I have issues with the paradox pricing in US dollar and
no.
The mechs are pretty cool.
How does it translate into pound spider? If you buy it in euro, pounds, or US dollar, which one is the cheapest for you?
Oh, I haven't done that, but always the easy answer is those things with currency. That's why those sites that sells keys are quite profitable because you buy it in other markets at the cheapest price, relatively speaking, and sell it in places for more expensive if you really want to lean into that. I bought the season pass, so I haven't actually looked at the price in quite some time.
Yeah, there's no point.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
I remember there was the sale last 2 weeks ago, the Halloween sale, where you could get the past DLCs for $10 each, plus the new DLC for $20, so a total of $40 to get all the DLCs at that point in time, with the season pass being 32 or 37. Anyway, season pass is the cheapest option, even if you get the sale prices.
Yeah.
I mean, like, obviously the main features, I'm excited about that. Like, the one thing, the mini campaign, I want to see that because, I mean, the Black Widows, come on, and the Bounty Hunter. So that's one thing I want to see what they do for the story, like for that.
Yeah, I think I'm personally most excited about the modding support because I don't really run unmodded games anymore, so I want to see what they're doing and if they have managed to make it easy enough that people with no PC skills whatsoever can do it. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, that guy up
this
there.
This guy. Exactly. Because like I had to watch a video how to do it, so it's like, oh my god.
I'm not sure exactly what they'll do, but I don't think it's necessarily going to make it so that, just through the base game, someone like Oldbob can do everything. But I think the modders and, the mod launchers and stuff, that will work a lot more smoothly.
Yeah,
because they're, removing a lot of the roadblocks.
As I quickly mentioned last or 2 weeks ago, they're basically integrating the mod loader so you don't have to disable the DLL file, which is kind of the most techy part from a mod installation. So all you really have to do is drop the things into the folder, just download them from ModNexus, copy them over, which should be easy enough for everyone who's ever used a Windows PC. And then just
Bob.
And then you can enable them, I think, in-game. I think that's what they were going for, at least doing BDS so their objective.
It makes it a lot simpler when you can just click the download more Mechs button and then just take the files and copy paste them in the game.
So you're no longer going to have to do command line stuff and move files around and make backups and stuff like that. You just drop them in and enable them.
Okay. That'd be nice.
Okay. So, lots of interesting Mech stuff coming out, even as Mechwarrior Online it just trundles along.
Yes.
But they fixed the typo.
Do you think that this is going to be the last one, the last DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really difficult question. Like from what I've gathered talking to the people, it might be. But then again, I know a lot of those guys are really, really deeply involved with BattleTech, so they might just push for doing another game or another DLC. I just don't know whether there's going to be a DLC because I'm fairly certain the project they're doing next is not going to be BattleTech related. So probably the earliest we can expect more stuff would be 2 or 3 years in the future.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's more likely going to be a new game rather than another update.
So I think that was pretty much all the topics almost.
Yeah, more or less it. I think though heavy metal, to me, it feels like they're trying to go out with a final bang.
Yeah, it does look good.
We got 2 very big flashpoints here, as mentioned, the bounty hunter, the hands and whatnot, dragoons, and all these mechs like just going crazy with all the tech and new weapons. Like this is, I think, a final hurrah for at least a while.
Probably, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And then we're just gonna see what the modders can do with the game in the next coming months.
That should be interesting.
Honestly, what I'm really hoping for that someone can figure out how to make tanks playable for the player.
Oh, that'd be fun.
And elementals and infantry, that'd be cool.
Yeah, like elementals are in infantry. Then again, Rokne has managed to put in VTOLs.
So really? Oh wow.
How hard can it be to put in infantry at this
point? True. Okay.
I demand hovercraft.
Yeah.
Player-controlled hovercraft.
Oh, player.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Just since Bida likes to punish himself, just the lands of Savannah Masters.
Oh,
those super squishy, super fast hovercrafts with a single medium laser. And then he has to take on a 5-star mission.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would pay money for that.
I mean, hovercraft goes so fast, they must generate a lot of evasion pips.
Yeah. No one's going to hit a Savannah Master.
Yeah, unless they do melee, in which case they ignore all melee pips. Just somehow this thing's just going past them like 200 kph, and the thing just puts its leg in front.
You just need to keep your distance.
They're like little soccer balls.
Yeah, long range, medium laser fire, scratch them to death.
One of the novels I read yesterday had literally the quote, the only way to deal with Savannah Masters is to put down a lot of artillery.
Yeah, they go like, I think like 24 hexes. Something like that. They go like insane amount of hexes.
Damn.
Yeah, and put an evasive pilot in there for the extra pips.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go wrap this up here. I think that's it for the podcast here.
Yeah, I think so, guys. I guess we'll be looking forward to the next podcast when we get some actual thoughts and thinking about the heavy metal patch, and then maybe we'll have some more content in terms of Mechwarrior 5, hopefully on advertising. And if we do, we'll let you know. Until then, everyone, this has been Ian.
Help? I think you're lucky.
Yes.
What?
What?
What happened?
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone. Just say goodbye. I was going to go through all the names, but Ian, Biter, Oldbob, and myself.
Goodbye.
See you later, everyone. Bye.